Dolphins, Bills for the top of the AFC East. Tua was feeling good, but it was Josh Allen early. Isaiah McKenzie. Allen, his second touchdown of the day.
They had a great plan for Miami's all-out zero pressure. I love that on 3rd and goal. McKenzie on that shallow cross.
Next drive, Tua. How about this throw?
Oh my gosh, I love this throw.
He can't do that.
We're tied at 14. What a game we have here. Now, later in the quarter, this is the moment that we'll be talking about. RC, take us through what we see here as Tagovailoa goes down, and it did not look like he would get back up.
Milano's continuing to rush. He gets pushed down. His head snaps against the ground, and this is what's scary. You're running back to the line of scrimmage, and you can't even stay upright. He looked like Hagler fighting Hearns. You know how wobbly his legs were there, and you think at this moment, Tua Tagovailoa is done for the day.
Yeah, he will pass through concussion protocol. He would say after the game it was his back that was hurt. That obviously is something
prove that
we'll want to talk about. Yeah, the NFLPA wants to talk about it. Meanwhile, critical moment at the end of the first half. Dan, take us through it.
Massive. They're trying to get a little slant, get up to the ball, which is executed perfectly, and spike it. Really, the heat plays a big part here because Josh is going to fumble the snap, and then he doesn't have enough time to get that spike off. It gives kind of the opportunity to get a field goal attempt away right there. I honestly believe he's probably soaked in sweat, and that ball goes right through his hands. He's not able to spike the ball and get the attempt off.
So they don't get a kick off. We wonder if 3 points was going to make a huge difference in this game. We call that foreshadowing. Fourth quarter now.
Come on.
With the ball trailing 17-14.
Come on.
Do TV, Green. Jalen Waddle.
How perfect are they throwing? Can you make Tua?
Deep in the red zone, and this time he's going to give it to Chase Edmonds, and the Dolphins are going to take the lead in the fourth quarter.
Really like the performance by the Dolphins offensive line. Edmonds gets right down in the goal line.
And then on the other side, 4th down, Bills going for it. McKenzie is open, and Allen doesn't get there.
I think his foot just gets stuck in the ground. It almost looks like he's looking for Stephon right away, and then his foot just gets stuck. Doesn't have enough to get on the football, and he knew it.
But wait, there's more. The Dolphins wind up having a punt from their own end zone. Rex, what shall this play be known as?
Oh, the butt punt. Boom, there it is. Yes. My man said his cheeks hurt.
Yes. Rex Ryan was the coach of the Jets for Mark Sanchez's legendary butt fumble. It is now joined in football lore by the butt punt from Thomas Morstead. It's a safety. So it's 21-19. Remember we mentioned the 3 points that Buffalo left on the field. Now it's Allen, it's Gabe Davis. They're moving down the field. It's going to set up this final play. Remember when they couldn't get a kickoff at the end of the first half? Now 2nd and 20, midfield, 18 seconds, no timeouts left.
Yeah, Greeny, and this is the great play by Josh Allen to get the ball out of his hands. But McKenzie's like in this gray area because he can't get out of bounds. They're not ready to make a 9-1-1 call, which is everybody get to the line of scrimmage. We're getting a Hail Mary off. They're trying to anticipate getting the ability to spike the ball and trying to make that kick. Just one of those in the middle gray areas where both opportunities presented themselves.
And so at the ends of each half, the Bills unable to get a kick in the air. The frustration, Ken Dorsey, offensive coordinator. It was that kind of day for the Bills. Hey, Tua, how about that win?
No, expectations haven't been raised, haven't changed. For us, this is what we believed. We believed in each other. We believed in ourselves. It might be new to a lot of the people that are watching, but you know, for us, we don't do anything more than what we're asked out there on the field, as well as practice, and that's what we do. We just trust each other, go out and play football.
So it is the Dolphins who come away with what I think feels like their biggest win since Dan Marino was their quarterback. But the biggest factor in this game was where it was played. Why?
Absolutely. The biggest home field advantage in the National Football League, especially in September. Why? Because your team as an opponent is in the heat the entire day. There's no rest. Everybody else on the sideline, no, for Miami, they're in the shade. So it's the greatest design of a stadium to give you home field advantage. I warned everybody about this game.
Yeah.
Everybody about this game because of these reasons. I've been up 2 scores in the fourth quarter and seen my team just get, wilted in that heat. And you saw the same thing in this game.
And plus, remember that the Bills were playing on a short rest, right? They played Monday night turnaround on the road in the heat, and it certainly did seem to play at least some factor in what we saw yesterday.
Oh no! Listen, it's huge. It's hot as hell down there. Like I live live in Baton Rouge, like, you just don't want to live life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to just chill. The humidity, you can't put on lotion. You got to walk around ashy as hell. Like, it's difficult playing down there. And you saw those
exactly
things.
what that
right.
is.
I'll be honest. Here's the other piece, though.
Nothing keeps me from putting on lotion, but that's a whole other
Here's
go.
the other piece, too, though. Josh Allen can't throw it 63 times. Like that can't happen. And the biggest thing I walk away from this game is everybody's going to say this offense and from Miami should have done what they were supposed to do against a team without their two best safeties, against a team that's missing all these pieces on defense. But Tua Tagovailoa, to me, he earned the seat, right? We got to watch him last week against the Baltimore Ravens have this amazing fourth quarter where he's dropping dimes, he's getting out of the pockets, out of the pocket, and throwing the dang ball to Rivers Craycraft. Who the hell is Rivers Craycraft? But that's a guy. He's out here killing people in the red zone. Tua Tagovailoa goes down, and I say to myself, he's not coming back into the game.
Yeah.
First thing I love is the fact that he wanted to come back in the game. Now, should they have let him? That's a different conversation. But that's the type of fight you want your starting quarterback to have. The second thing is you go 32 yards, then 45 yards down the field to Jalen Waddle. You make huge, big-time throws, and you lead your team to a win. People are going to pick this apart because the Buffalo Bills were not full. Sure. I'm not doing that. You win against the people you play against, full strength or not, and Tua Tagovailoa willed his team to do that with a great defense.
Ball placement always matters. The Miami Dolphins won this game because of the ball placement by Tua Tagovailoa. It's why they drafted him number 5. It's why I think he's going to be a great pro, and it's why it always matters. So this doesn't seem like a big deal to people. It's first and 10. That ball placement is a big deal. It's perfectly right out in front. It allows the RPO pick to happen. That 4-yard throw becomes a 12-yard throw. How about this one to Jalen Waddle? RC's talking about it. The play-action ball fake. You're going to get a wrap in. Now the safety's going to drive in the middle field. RC knows it. Put on his back hip. Yep. Not only to avoid contact, but he can put his foot in the ground and spin out of it, right? Well, Dan, those plays don't really determine the outcome of the game, really, because Rivers Craycraft, this one does. The post up top, watch his back leg hit the ground. Look at it when this ball's coming out. Anticipation. Now can you do it, but also throw it exactly where it needs to while he crosses the safety's face. Bang, right there. If it's not there, that's going to be tipped up in the air, and what happens to it, RC? Interception. Pickies. That's why the ball placement matters. They won the game because of it. I thought it was a masterful job by Mike McDaniel, their head coach. How about this? The Buffalo Bills in the first 2 weeks led the league in pressures, 25, and they led the league in sacks. You know how many sacks they had yesterday? 1. You know how many pressures they had yesterday? 4. Yeah. I mean, he did a great job of making sure that defensive line of Buffalo, they were not going to win the game.
And so the question one might ask is, does this mean the Dolphins are now the best team in the AFC East? What's the answer?
No way in heck. The Buffalo Bills are clearly the best team, and not only in the East, but in the entire league. Look, we're all excited about this right here. The one reason they didn't have sacks, they weren't even on the field. They had 19 minutes of time of possession. This team got destroyed in the game everywhere but the scoreboard. Right. And when I look at this, they had 200 yards of total offense.
Miami did.
Miami did. That's right, with 6 starters out on the Buffalo Bills defense. It was the heat that got Buffalo. Yes, Tua's fantastic. And the great thing is, now everybody is on the bandwagon about Tua. Nobody saw it before. We saw the accuracy that we talked about when he came out of college. That's what we're seeing here. But I just think it's funny because, look, this team never knew how good Tua was.
You know what? What I do think, though, and I think it's important we say it. We've been so caught up, and you're going to know this, in Tua and Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. They've been awesome. We all, in some way, forgot how good their defense is.
Yep.
Their defense was tremendous.
Yeah, yesterday they were phenomenal.
Real quick, the 2 other things we have to show you as we remain commercial free here for a little while. Yesterday was also a day in the NFL about vindication in 2 different places. We already showed you, Rex, the butt punt, and your old quarterback and our old friend Mark Sanchez, of course, the architect of the original butt fumble. When this was put, he posted, "Whoa, stay out of my lane, bro."
Boy, Mark.
There you go, Mark. But for our purposes, that's not the biggest thing that happened yesterday. This, of course, is Sanchez and the legendary.
You know how painful that still is to watch.
He also ran into a bigger butt.
That's Brandon Moore's butt.
Yeah, it's a lot of butt.
So that's that one. But then, I promised you that we would show you this. Last night, Jimmy Garoppolo had a pick 8, so he throws a pick 6, but he had already stepped out of the back of the end zone. He steps out of the back of the end zone, and Dan